Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's quick tip is going to be how to adjust the refrigerator door. As you know, a refrigerator door, when you open it up and you bring it out past, say, halfway or a quarter of the way, the door itself is supposed to close by itself. As you can see here, the door is not closing by itself. But it's really a very simple repair. It's nothing that's really special tools needed. You're going to need a pry bar to lift up the bottom. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to show you what tools you're going to need. You're going to need a pry bar to lift up the bottom of the refrigerator. You're going to need a Phillips head or a regular screwdriver, and you may need a 1/4 inch or 8 millimeter, 7 millimeter, depending on the size of the nut underneath there. If you don't have the wrench that's the right size for it, most of the time you can usually just grab it with your fingers. Once you lift it up and you take the weight of the refrigerator off of the adjustable leg, usually you can turn it by hand, but we're going to see how it works on this one here, and I'm going to bring you along and show you how to do it. All right, so let me bring it. I'm going to show you what tools we're going to need, and then we're going to get this job done. Okay, so this is an example of what kind of tools you're going to need to get this job done. Like I said, you're going to need either a Phillips head or a flathead screwdriver, a pry bar in which to lift up the refrigerator slightly. You want to get one with this little angle on it right here because it gives you a little bit more leverage and it makes it a lot easier to lift up the refrigerator. Like I said, you may need a couple of wrenches to adjust the legs down here, but we'll see how it goes. And then we have a piece of wood such as this, or if we need to, we could put two of them together to create the leverage to lift up the refrigerator. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down underneath here and we're going to remove the screws that hold this panel here on, because what we need to adjust is right underneath this, right on the side right here. This is where the piece of the adjustment is. You can see right down in here. This is the leg that's adjustable to give it the height and the swing that we need to. All right, so first thing we're going to do now is we're going to take our level and we're going to put it on the top of the refrigerator, and what we need to do is, you see this little bubble right here? We need to have the refrigerator, the back of the refrigerator, slightly lower than the front of the refrigerator. So if this is the back and this is the front, we don't want it exactly center like that. We want it slightly off like this, so that way the door itself in the front, it'll actually close by itself. But let me put this on top of the refrigerator and I'll show you what I mean. This is all level on top of the refrigerator now. You can see it's going from back to front. And you can see that this here, it's just about where it's level. What we need to do is we need to have it where it's sort of like that, where it's off a little bit, where the back is sitting down lower than the front. So the way we're going to do that now is we'll take that cover off and we'll adjust it underneath the bottom. All right, next thing you want to do as well is you want to take your level and put it this way from left to right. We're going to see, and you can see it's fairly level that way, which is actually pretty good. All right, so now we're going to adjust this level right here. Okay, so let's go down the bottom and make the adjustment. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to take our screwdriver, and down underneath here, you'll notice that there's a screw right down inside there. In this particular case, this screw here, it's a flathead screwdriver, so we're going to use our flat screwdriver. Sometimes they will be a Phillips head, and if that's the case, then of course then you just use your Phillips head. Take that screw totally out. We're going to take the other screw out on the other side right over here. Take that screw out. We'll put it on the side. And then we're going to take this cover here and we're going to pull it very easy. We don't want to break it. So you're just going to pull it very easy until it pops out. Just like that. And we'll pull the entire panel off the bottom. Just like this. All right, we'll put this off to the side for now. The light on. I hope you can see a little bit better underneath here. I just put another light to give a little bit more visibility for you. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our pry bar like this and we're going to put it underneath right here and we're going to pry down. But as you can see, you can't pry and lift it up because this end of it is already touching the floor. That's when a piece of wood like this comes in handy. You take the piece of wood, you put it underneath here like this, you put this under it, and you just push down very slightly, and you can see it lifts up very easy. And then you can turn this. Oh, it turns very easy. If it didn't turn easy, you could grab yourself a wrench, and you could put the wrench on there, and you could turn it with the wrench, just like this. But we don't need the wrench. We can just turn it by hand like this. So we're going to turn this leg down a little bit, just like that. And then we're going to let it down. Then we're going to come over to the other side over here. I'll bring you over so you can see. We're going to come over to the other side right here, and as you can see, what's going to happen is, you see how unstable, how the refrigerator rocks a little bit? You don't want a refrigerator to rock like that, so we're going to turn this leg here down a little bit, just like that, till it comes in contact with the tile. Okay, now it's touching the tile. Now let's go up top and we'll take a look at the level. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little bit better, but we are going to bring it up just a little bit more. We want it about like that. Okay, so I'm going to go down the bottom and I'm going to adjust the leg just a little bit more. Okay, now you can see that this is actually just where I wanted it to be. Next test we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to open up the door and we'll see if it closes correctly. Okay, let's give it a try and see how it is. We're going to bring it open till about this point here, let the door go, and as you can see, it closes fairly decent by itself. We'll bring it out a little bit more. And as you can see, that's the way it closes the way it's supposed to. Now, if by chance it doesn't close like that, don't worry about it. You can bring it up just a little bit higher to create more of a pitch to the back. All right, and then you want to make sure from left to right that it's level as well. We will check this on the top here one more time. We'll put this level on there to make sure left to right is correct and that the pitch from front to rear is correct, and that's it. This job will be done. Next thing you want to do is you want to go down, and I'm going to show you one more thing you have to check before you put that cover back on. Now, before we put our cover back on, we adjusted this here, so it's just about the same depth, the same height as this side over here. They're fairly close now. All right, the next thing you want to do is you want to come over here and you want to make sure that the refrigerator is not uneven, it rocks. And as you can see, it doesn't move at all. It's nice and solid. But if it does rock a little bit, then you would just push down on your pry bar a little bit, and you would turn this adjustment down a little bit lower until it touches the ground. But you can see it's nice and level from left to right. All right, before we put our cover back on now, let's go back up top. We're going to test it with our level, and we'll make sure it's finished. All right, and here's our level from left to right. You can see it goes this direction here, and you can see that this is just about in the center where we want it to be. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put it back on from front to rear one more time to confirm that it is where we want it. And you can see it's exactly where we wanted it to be. All right, next thing we're going to do now is put the cover back on, and then this job is done. After everything is all finished on the adjustment, we're going to take our cover that we previously took off. We're going to take it up here, put it on the top right here, and we're going to take these little pieces and we're going to snap them into place here first. This little piece here and this little piece here, we're going to snap them in so it holds it in place, and then we'll put our screws back in. Okay, grab our screw. These screws do not have to be real tight. You just snug them in just to hold it in place. You probably want to catch them by hand first, and then once you have it caught by hand, then you can adjust or screw it in the rest of the way with your screwdriver. As I said, it doesn't have to be tight, it just has to be snug. All right, then we'll put our other screw back in over here, just like that. And then we'll screw it in. Okay, that's it. This job is all done. I just want to point this out to you too. If you don't have a pry bar such as this, don't worry about it. You don't have to go out and buy one to get the job done. Now you remember how I put this pry bar on top of the wood like this and I pried it up to lift it up? You don't have to have this bar. It's very easy. You can just come up underneath here, put your piece of wood on the ground, take a second piece of wood, put the second piece of wood underneath like this, and you can create your fulcrum with this second piece of wood to lift it up. If you don't have this, don't worry about it. Just get yourself two pieces of wood that are fairly thick and not going to break, and you should be able to get the job done just using that. All right, that's it. This job is done, and on to the next. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.